What's up, everybody? This is Sam coming to you with a review, kind of overview of a product that I talked about lately on the Instagram, and that's the Beez Combat Systems GAT Wrap. I posted a picture of it, kind of a sneak peek of sorts, a while back when I had it on the rifle, and I had some people ask me about it. It's like, hey, I can't really talk about it right now. Uh, they released it so I can actually talk to you about it, and I thought I'd shoot a little overview and review of it. Uh, so I posted a picture a day or so ago of a little bit more in depth of its use, throwing it on a completely black rifle and staging it in the woods and kind of what it did. Had a lot of people comment the typical, oh, that's going to get in the way of this, that's going to be a problem, it's going to be a snag hazard. I'll touch on that, and I thought I would go ahead and kind of show you the product, show you some comparisons to some other products, put it on the rifle, and then just kind of talk about it. So to start with, I want to talk about a product that I've had for a while, and I've tried to use, and I kind of found myself not liking it. So I didn't use it a whole lot. Is the microbat systems? They were kind of the first ones to do the bungee nylon Cordura type of wrap. I've showed it a long time ago on my posts. When they first came out, I thought, hey, that's great. I was looking for a system like this, something that was kind of quick and easy, and I could kind of keep it stuffed away in a pouch or in a smock pocket or something like that. Throw it on when I needed to. The issue is, and I'll go ahead and wrap it real quick. I'm going to ditch the sling just for this so I can show it a little bit better. It's got these little hooks, kind of like if you're used to the helmet hooks and stuff on like the Team Wendy's and things like that. It's got a little hook that you can use if you want to. I never really found myself using it. For the sake of time, I'm going to put it over the muzzle. I wouldn't really do this. I would put it over something different, but it's a little bit easier to do it here. And then you just take it and you wrap it. Okay, so that's it, just kind of roughly. And it's on there. And it does help break up the outline a little bit, but it doesn't do a super great job. If you look, there's a lot of gaps and things like that in the wrap itself. So if you didn't have a painted rifle, all of this is going to show in between there, as well as these squares are really just like sharp edged. So they don't really, they break up the outline, but at the same time they just create more outline in my experience. As well as, if you can see, once you get them wrapped, you can't really move them out of the way without just laying them flat. And then you basically negate all of the outline breakup in the top. So I think it was a great thought process on a product. I think it kind of paved the way for other products. I'm not going to say that it paved the way for the Beez Combat one. Talking to the dude who sent it to me to test, who was kind of the creator behind it, he's like, yeah, we had the microbat. We've been testing it with the microbat. I created this because the microbat kind of fell short. And I agree. I think the microbat's still a good product. If you have one, you don't need to go throw it in the trash. You can use it for other things if you needed to, like tripods and things like that. But in my opinion, it doesn't do as good as the GAT Wrap does. So fast forward to 2 or 3 months ago, I'm wanting to say, I was sent the GAT Wrap to try out. So when you get it, you will get a big chunk of this laser cut material that is what they call leaf cut or dread cut. I'm not sure the exact nomenclature, but if you look, it's not square. It is legit cut leaf pattern, if you would. And there's a lot of science that goes into it as far as why they did it and how they did it and stuff like that. Let me see if I can find a leaf randomly to kind of showcase a little bit. Here we go. So you can kind of see it's leaf cut, right? It's not just a square, it's not just a circle, it's not just a semicircle. It's cut to look like a leaf. And they did that for a reason, and that's because, it looks more like natural foliage. To expound upon that, the material that they used is also like if you take a leaf and hold it in your hand, and you take this and hold it in your hand and rub it and feel it, how it moves, it feels like a leaf. It really does. When he told me that, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. It's corduroy nylon. It's not really going to be that big of a deal. I'm impressed though. I really am. So when you get it, you've got just a big chunk of the material there, and some of it's still connected. And the reason is you can kind of pluck it out to the full length or part of the length if you're not putting it on a rifle. If you're using it to like wrap tripods or whatever, or go around your helmet. If you didn't have the actual helmet scrim kit that they do, you could do it that way. I fully plucked it out, made it the full length. And when you get it, the thing's super freaking long. It's actually longer than the bungee that's included. And I thought that was kind of a mistake. I thought, okay, he didn't send me enough bungee, but I'm going to throw it together. So I put the entire length of material on the bungee. Turns out it's not a mistake. I got a hold of him. I was like, hey, I've been using it for a little bit. Why did you do it that way? And the way it was explained to me is that way you could actually leave part of the end loose to wrap around optics and stuff like that if you needed to, that didn't necessarily have to have bungee. So if you had like full length fixed full length adjustable magnification optics, your big 12, 15x power scopes that are longer, you could leave the bungee off of it to just kind of drape and lay how you need to. And I'll showcase that with the second one I got. So the first one I got was Multicam. And that's the one that I showed pictures of. I just now set up the Multicam Tropic one that I have, and I set it up differently. I set it up to where I didn't use the full material on the bungee. I left some of it loose and hanging. So the only thing I can say, and people who have also tested it that I've talked with, that quasi complained about was the setup time. So like I said, when you get it, it's not assembled. So it's not like an easy button, autistic click button that as soon as you get it, you can take it out of the package, throw it on your Apple and go. And I kind of brought it up to him, I was like, hey, I think that's going to turn some people off because a lot of people just want it to be easy. They want a product they take out of the package, wrap around and go. And the way it was explained to me was they wanted it to be end user adjustable. That way you could set it up as the user how you wanted to. And the more I used it, the more I was like, okay, I can see why you did that. I really can, because everybody's rifles are different. If you got a shorter rifle, you need less material on the bungee. If you got a long rifle, you may need the full material on the bungee. It really is up to the end user to adjust it how they want to. The second thing is setup time. It does take a little bit to put together. I put the Tropic one together just now. It took like 8 minutes to fully assemble it. And it's because of how they design it. There's little micro slits in the leaf pattern in the material that you weave the bungee through. A little tip is to burn the edges of the bungee so that you can weave them better. It's just like doing paracord or anything like that. When I brought it to him, he said they should have been that way. Going forward, they'll make sure that they are that way. So if you're reading this and you buy one after they've came out, they may be, the bungee cord ends may be burned. That way you don't have to deal with that. All I did, I just tied a loop knot in the end, ran it through, and did the same thing on the other end. That way I can attach it to whatever I need to. The Multicam Tropic one that I was talking about did the same thing. I tied it, and this time I actually tied in, I don't know, I'll try and show it on my phone. It's not that great. I actually tied in the bungee around the material so it doesn't try and slide down. That's one thing I didn't do on the Multicam that I kind of wished I did. And I ran it the full length of the bungee. So I'll try and show you, that's the full length of the bungee from hand to hand, and this is just excess material hanging out there. So that kind of shows you there's even more material, but because of how you do it and you bunch it up as you go, you don't have quite as much hanging off. But you could, if you just routed it and didn't bunch it up or anything like that, you'd have a ton of material hanging off here. So they give you a lot to work with. You can cut it to size if you need to. You can kind of do whatever. If you only needed that much of it, you could actually cut that off and then cut sections out of this to make like tie-in dreads. That's something they are going to offer in the future, from what I'm told, is like a dread package. If you know anything about their helmet system, they have like these little dreads, like lizard tongue looking things that you tie in to help break up the outline. They're supposed to be offering kind of a package of various colors and patterns for those. That way you can tie in how you need to. If Multicam alone doesn't work and you need some Tropic built in, like right now in my area, Multicam works pretty good. Tropic, the darkness of the Tropic still works pretty good right now too. So I'm going to kind of show you blending both of them in. Nothing scientific about it. I'm not smart. I'm just going to take it and wrap it So again, for the interest of time, what I actually do is I'll put it behind the sling stud on the QD, and then put the QD on there, and then wrap it. For the interest of time, I'm just going to put it over the muzzle. This works, but it's not the best option simply because you've got heat going to the bungee cord. It's not going to melt it through. I talked to them about it. They said that they had wrapped it around suppressors and stuff like that without issue. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it real quick. Bring it around. Okay. So as you can see, compared to the microbat, you've got a whole lot more material there. You got a lot more body to it. And then if you just droop it and bring it around, even if you are clearing your optic, which this is clear, yeah, I can see through the optic. I've got minimal disruption in the bottom of the lens. I've still got a lot of body to the top of it for the outline breakout. So let's talk about weapons manipulations and stuff like that. Just real quick. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and throw that Multicam Tropic one on there first. So if you wanted to add more to it, like I'm doing now, you can get 2 full wrap packages, or you can do it however, I guess. If they start offering those dread patterns, I want to wrap that around the lot, bring it around. So while I'm doing this, you may be thinking, why on earth would I even want something like this? It's just going to be extra bulk and stuff like that. In my opinion, in talking with them, and I've told them this, I think that the best use for this, honestly, is in utilization in like a fixed position, like a hide site or a patrol base or something like that. So you can take that and bring it around there. So now we've basically completely broken up the outline of the rifle. Once you get it wrapped, that's when you'll take and kind of reposition some of the dreads and stuff out of the way. In my experience, even if they are kind of around the ejection port, the leafs blow out of the way pretty easy as far as ejection pattern goes. So you can have them around it, not necessarily like on top of it, but around it. And yeah, okay. So I'm just kind of take it and kind of smooth it down. All right, now I've got, especially with the magnified optic, I'm seeing past all of this. So this, everyone's gonna say, oh my gosh, that's in the way. It's actually not for me. With the magnified optic, it's just seeing past all of it. It's just like having a front sight base on your rifle with a magnified optic behind it. You just don't notice it. There's a little bit of a shadow, but it's not in the way. So again, fire controls, safety's good, mag release is good, bolt release is good, bolt hold open is good. This is what I was talking about. If you take a little bit more time, here's the ejection port. It's laying over it, but at the same time, I've yet to have one get sucked in there or anything like that. I'm sure it could happen if you're not careful, but just take half a second to actually bring those around to where they're out of the way and you're good to go. So again, there's nothing in front of the mag well, so send the bolt home. Awesome. I don't know if you can see that. So training rounds in there, so it fully sent it home. And now I have a complete product that if I'm stationary, yes, painting a rifle does help to break up the outline or break up the image because it's no longer black showing there, but it doesn't do anything for the outline. So if you're stationary, especially, even if you're moving, like it's not really a problem. Like I could have this on here full time and really not experience any issues. I have kept it on while walking through the woods. And that's one of the reasons they wanted me to test it out is because of my area. We have a lot of briars and branches and wait a minute vines and things like that. And pretty much anything can and will snag, it's going to take it off your body. And I didn't experience any of that. I honestly cannot think of a time that it snagged. And it's the way they design it. It's designed to move with things. With the wind, with the rain, it's designed to droop. With branches, it's designed to brush through it as opposed to getting snagged and stuck. Even if it does, it's kind of designed to push all that stuff through. so you don't really end up with a lot of snag issues. Um, Again, I haven't experienced any of the snagging issues that people are concerned about. Uh, Weapons manipulations, fire control group, firing for that matter, I haven't experienced anything. It's all worked really well. I still think that you could leave it on there full time, like I said, if you wanted to. It is still, in my opinion, a better option for a fixed position where you're really just you're not having to focus on movement, so you're really trying to capitalize as much as you can on concealment and outline breakup. So, anyways, that's kind of an overview of the Beez Gat Wrap. Like I said, I've got both of them in there now. So I've got Multicam as well as Multicam Tropic, and there is no way you could look this over in the foliage that I have around here and say, okay, that's a rifle. Even within 5 yards, even honestly, even closer. I've tested it, and even knowing the rifle's there, it really breaks up the outline. Yes, you don't have anything back here, but if you had something like a sniper hood or a viper hood or a veil or something like that that's bringing over all this, then you have just completely negated all of it. So, again, it's not for everyone, in my opinion. There's going to be people that really see the value and utilization in this, and there's going to be those that only want to kick indoors and run through shoot houses, and they're going to say that this is stupid, and it's just not for you guys. If that's all you do, if you live in a concrete jungle and that's all you ever do anything with your life, it's not for you. It really isn't. It's definitely geared towards the field use partisan concept, where you can have all this taken off your rifle, stowed in a pocket. You could use it on a rifle, you could use it on a tripod, you could use it on a pack, you could use it on a helmet, you could use it on pretty much anything you need to, as long as you can wrap it and break up your outline and have it set to the side for when you need it. You actual recon dudes, sniper dudes, I see this being a huge thing for y'all, because again, it just gives you a end user capable option that you can tailor to your specific needs. So, anyways, guys, expect more from Beez. I'm supposed to be getting one of their helmet covers and maybe a pack cover to test out, along with some other things. So I'm going to put all that through its paces and report back to you on that. I'm not sponsored by them. They haven't paid me to do anything with this. This is the only thing I have for them is the Gat Wrap. And I told them, I was like, look, if it sucks, it sucks. I'm going to tell you. If it's not, if it's not good to go, I'm going to tell people it's not good to go. If it's good to go, I'm going to tell them it's good to go. I don't want any money. I don't want necessarily any products. If it's something that you want me to test, cool. If I think it's useful for me or for my area or for my needs, I'll test it. If it's some fluff piece thing, I'm not doing it. You're not going to see me testing stuff simply for the sake of testing stuff that has absolutely no importance or need for me or the people that I'm with, or the goals that I'm set out to accomplish, simply for the sake of clout or financial gain or anything like that. It's not why I'm doing it. So, all that being said, Beez Combat Systems Gat Wrap, go pick you up 1 or 2 or 10.